and welcome back to Saxlingham. We're now just early morning or early-ish morning of August, and we've started our first canola harvest on our main farm. We'll continue with that. Just got the second field to harvest. Just taken about 12,000 litres and put it into the Mercedes, and we'll deal with that a little bit later. But I want to use this episode while we are harvesting to do our state of the farm episode. So we'll just get that going. Where's he off to? Let's just get to adjust himself. Right, so while that's going, let's go and have a look. Let's jump out and we'll go and have a look at our starting farm. So our starting farm, we're not doing much on it now because we have bought a second farm which is a little bit more central and closer to our main production fields. So during the course of the next year, we will be readjusting what we will be doing with this farm. We do have a little bit of wheat in the silos here, so we've got some nice storage here which we don't have on the other farm. For that alone, that's quite useful, but it's a little bit far away from our production. And this is why it's always good to do a little bit of a state of the nation. I forgot that I had all this fertilizer sitting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say at least 6,000 litres of fertilizer sitting there. So we must remember about that. This is still our original Unimog. Been working really, really hard. We've got 11 hours on it. That's just about everything. It is the only vehicle that we own, and talking about that, we do have plenty of vehicles, and of course they have been financed. So let's just go and have a look and see at our hire purchase list. So current agreements, we have got pages of it. So pretty much everything that we've bought, we've done on hire purchase between 1 year and 5 years, just depending on everything. So the total that we owe is settlement cost. At the moment, if we settled everything now, it's 1.5 million. The remaining cost, including all the interest, is 1.7. We do have residual amounts on most things to pay, which is about another 500,000. So we're looking at, if we had to settle everything now, most probably around about 2 million in terms of equipment. It does cost us 30,000 a month, which you will see when we do it at a later stage is a fairly small cost compared to what we're bringing in with all this equipment and the ease of being able to get equipment on hire purchase. So far we haven't missed any payments, touch wood, so that's looking good. The next thing that we have done, and another reason why I won't be getting rid of this farm too quickly, is because we have built a goat pen up here to supply goat milk for our cheese. The reason why we're not buying it in like we're buying our normal milk in is that we had a bit of a problem with delivering goat milk with the change of trailers to collect goat milk. So we went onto the Bailey trailer, and the Bailey trailer doesn't take goat milk directly from the dairy. So we've had to produce our own, which then produce in pails on pallets, which we can load the pallets up and take those into our dairy. And the hard goat cheese is very, very lucrative, so we decided to do that, to put in a couple of goat pens. We do have another one, you'll see that a little bit later. In this one here we've got 50, and we're feeding them We should have, in the next couple of months, we should have some kids. They feed mainly on meadow, but we do have down the side here a couple of bales of hay in the feeding area to replenish any shortages that may develop, particularly over the winter time. We don't have any grass fields at the moment, so we may have to look at that, but there's a plan in place for that, which I won't go into just quite yet, but I do have a plan to do some grass work in the next year. So let's get back into our Unimog now, and we'll go down to our main farm, well, our second farm, which is, well, it is now really our main yard, so to speak. This is still where we stay. We have our lovely farmhouse down here. There we go. We're just going past our farmhouse, and that's our home, so we won't be selling this in a hurry. So to get to the main farm is just quite easy. Straight up the drag down towards our production area and the shop, and just before the shop there's a turning to the left, and that brings us down past one of our fields. So before we get there, let's have a look and just see. So we have purchased quite a few fields. We have financed some of the fields. Well, we have taken out a loan for some of the financing, and let's just have a look at that quickly. So we do have a bank loan. We've got two bank loans, in fact, for fields that we've bought in this area. They total just under 1.4 million pounds. We're paying back 27,000 a month on those, and that enabled us to buy a couple of really big fields. So let's just go back to here. So we originally started with this field and this field. We now own field 18. We originally started with this field, and this field here, and this field here. So these are quite a nice collection of fields around this central area, which is now our main yard. So we bought this field here, nice and big field. We've put in some beehives, 17, 9, and 8. So 8 and 9, we have barley growing. 18, I think we've got soybeans growing for the diesel production, and 17 we have corn growing for our tortillas. We're going to have to buy more fields because that's in no way going to supply our productions fully, but it'll go a little bit of the way. At the moment we're pretty much buying in all our inputs, well, a lot of our inputs for our productions, and that's really where we make our money, is in the productions. Right, so let's just get back down this and we can go have a quick look at the yard. So I have put in, just as we go past, you can see the fences for the goat field on the left hand side, and I have put in for every field, and just thinking about it now, except for the top fields that we are harvesting now, I have put a beehive, nice big beehive in for each of the fields to help with the pollination of our crops, and of course to give us some honey, because we do use honey as well. So this is the yard that we bought, and as I showed to you in the map, it is very central. This is the yard. It's very central to these fields. so we can access all these fields almost directly. And that's one of the reasons why I moved from there as well, because from there I could only really access this field. This field here, I had to actually drive through that field to get to it. So from here I can access all the fields with the exception of that one. This one, these two down here are accessible a little bit further away. And then of course we've still got these fields here which we can buy, which will start becoming fairly accessible. It is unlikely that we'll buy this farm here because that is the dairy production, and at the moment we get a lot of our milk from that dairy farmer down there, so I don't think we will try and buy up his land. This yard, nice, quite a few places to store equipment. We have another bale storage down here, huge hall down here for equipment, and some undercover storage here, and here we have some more silos, some more storage. We do lease out this little area here to the co-op because we're a big customer of theirs. They've put one of these, well, they did have it here, but we did a deal with them, so we get a little bit off our purchase of our inputs as compensation for renting a space off us here. And this is basically where we fill up for all our productions. And then we've got this huge goat field producing quite a lot. It basically takes up all this little wooded area. I call it my goat heaven. The goats just love it, producing good stuff. Once again, we've put in a couple of bales of hay here just to compensate for the meadows once they go down. We have 150 goats in here at the moment. We can store up to 300,000, and there's also a couple of months time that'll be done. So yeah, looking good, and that's where we're getting the bulk of our goat's milk from now. The thing is, because it's built in with a lot of trees and that type of stuff, there's not as much meadow grass, and that's why I've got more hay ready here for utilization. Right, so that is basically the main yard. We do have a workshop on the main yard as well, and we have fuel on the main yard, or in the main yard. This is a brilliant little yard because it just has access all over. So these are the other two big fields that we have here. Down here, and this one here, I think we had a bit of a problem with one of our vehicles going rogue in here. But we do have soya beans there, so we've lost a bit of crop there. Well, when I say going rogue, it was me driving going rogue. And in this one here we have, I think we might have barley as well. We've got 3 huge barley fields, and that is to go into our flour mill. It will be changed up. It was just when I bought those fields, it was pretty much the only thing I could plant. And I wanted to get them going. Then if we go straight down here, we've got another big field at the bottom here. So if we turn right at the T-junction and then first left, that will give us the entrance to this field here, which is corn, I do believe. Whoa. So yeah, there's corn growing here, coming along quite nicely. We're in growth stage 5 of 7. So there's a lot of work to be done in the next month or so, and this is the next field that I have my eye on. What does it have in here at the moment? It has potatoes in here. Very difficult to harvest, so it's probably, if I do buy it and still, and it was probably just ploughed under. Good to turn over the soil, I suppose, but that's not quite for now. I don't really want to take another bank loan for land. I want to start self-financing my land. So if we go back up here now, we can go into our production area. And that is basically straight up here. You can see the flour mill silos to the right there, well, you could see them. Right, and we go down here, and if we turn right down here, this is basically our production alley. So if we go in here, we have a yogurt factory, and we haven't collected any of our product, so this is pretty much a day's production. So we've got what, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pallets of yogurt to be delivered. This is our farm production on this side here, producing normal cheese, bottled milk, which is supplying directly supplying our productions. It is also making bread. So we've got quite a bit of bread being produced there as well, and this is probably where we'll bring our canola into and start producing canola oil. Across the road we have our flour factory, and this is where our barley and wheat come into. Produces flour, and incidentally the farm production also produces pig food as a byproduct, which is quite lucrative really. As does the grain mill. It produces pig food as a byproduct of our flour production. All our flour goes into our bakery at the moment. We have our storage sheds for our vehicles. You can see our Mercedes delivery system needs a bit of a wash, and we normally get to fill this sort of 1.5 times with all our product at the moment, every day. Little wash station over there, and we've got our production workshop. It's mainly to be able to add and take off the sides of the back of this Unimog, depending on how we want to use it. Bailey trailer there as well. We've got quite a few Bailey trailers. They're serving us well for different jobs. If we go further down here, just a little bit of welfare for our workers in this area. This is the ice cream shop. It's one of our retail productions. And this is, when we say retail shop, is it produces and it automatically sells, and we get income coming directly into our account, into our bank account basically every day. We have at the moment 2 retail operations. We've got this one, the ice cream shop, and we've got a restaurant which we'll take and show you in a little while. That is working really, really well, and the aim is to get that pretty much fully stocked by our own operations, which I will show you by our own production basically, which I will show you in a little while. It's probably after this one here. Right, so this is one of our main production areas really, because this is probably our most lucrative operation, which is our multigrain production, and we make a lot of different product here. Bread, cake, corn flour we make basically to be able to to make the tortillas, which are really, really good, and cereal. You can see that we've got some cereal, some inputs missing for cereal. It's probably raisins or something like that. We've got raisins, so we'll have to check those all out. Of course, we check at the end of every day, basically, or during the course of the day, we check to see what we need, and we go and buy those in, which hasn't been done yet. We normally do it after we've sold our product, so we've got some sort of income. So these are tortillas. We've got cereal over there. There should be cake being produced as well. This is our main small but powerful little cheese shop, or cheese production area, and we are producing cow's mozzarella, we're producing gorgonzola, we're producing ricotta cheese, we are producing hard goat's cheese with the goat's milk. So yeah, so you can basically see that mozzarella, ricotta, gorgonzola and aged goat cheese. Our normal cow's milk cheese has been produced in the farm production. So we have a couple more Bailey trailers. This is for our diesel delivery. This is for our milk collection. And this is for water collection, which we must probably going to sell now, because we have an automatic water delivery system going at the moment. This is our not dairy production, this is our diesel production, and currently we produce diesel from soya beans, and that is pretty lucrative as well. So those are our main productions at the moment. This has all been pretty much, well, some of it was here, the basic productions were here. We've kind of chopped and changed them since we've started. Yeah, it's been pretty good. We're a mixed operation. Well, we're basically a production operation. Our farming is to produce input for our production. So if we go back up here, this is also giving you a kind of good idea where everything is. So we've got it all kind of centralized down this end of the map. We are going to have to move that at the moment. So this is the one of the two original fields that we had down here. We've just recently harvested. What did we harvest off here? I can't remember. But I've taken a little bit of this area here, and we've created fairly recently some greenhouse operations here to supply our retail shops. So that's fairly new. We're not quite sure, and why is that not distributing? And that is rice saplings. That should have been distributing that. I'll have to come and check that up. Rice saplings should be distributing to the other greenhouse to produce one of the rice products. I can't remember. Well, both of the rice products, I think, long grain rice and normal rice. And this is to produce for a new production which we're going to be putting in today, a juice bar. So we're getting some fresh fruit, lovely grapes coming in there, all looking good. This is Omatana's distribution system, which is distributing directly through to all the greenhouses. This is our mushroom shop, our mushroom greenhouse, which is also going into the production units. So that's pretty much everything that we've got going at the moment, except for our restaurant and our water pumping station. So if you just bear with me, we will nip on down to the bottom area of the map. Let's just show you where that is quickly. So we are here now, and if we go all the way down here, we have our little village. We've put in our first production, at least our first retail production over here, which is a restaurant to service this area. So we'll head on down there, and we'll make one stop on the way down. So the next stop will be at the ford. So I will see you at the ford. Right, as we come into the ford, it's very small but very significant to our operation. We do own all the verges of the roads, and we were able to put in a water pumping station here, pumping directly from the river, and this is where we get all our water supply from. So it supplies all our greenhouses, well, anything that needs water at the moment. And yeah, works pretty well so far. It's only recently been in for a couple of months, so it's probably not fully tested yet, but so far it has been working fantastically. Right, from here we'll just head on through the ford and then head on down to the little town area, and we can show you our restaurant. Right, we're just coming into the village, the bottom corner of the map. Not sure what the village is called. Call it Saxlingham village. If we just go down right down this road, we'll come to the Plough, which is our restaurant. And this is one of our retail operations. And we've got some extra cucumbers. It's probably going there. No, it must be full on cucumbers. So everything is running. So that's fantastic. We don't need to get anything. Just got super strength on just to do that job. So we don't have to do anything. We're getting a lot of the stuff that is now being delivered directly from our greenhouses. So if we go in here, we can have a quick look. So if we're looking at our menu, we've got mushroom stroganoff. So the bread we can get, well, I think we'll still be bringing that down individually. We'll have to have a look at that. The problem is we make so much bread, I don't necessarily want to take it off the delivery, being able to deliver and realize money quite quickly. So the only thing that we're running a little bit short of at the moment is long grain rice, and that's why I have to make sure that those rice saplings are going into the right place, because that should be automatically refilling from our productions, the greenhouse productions that we showed you just a little while ago. Bottled milk is being delivered directly. Potatoes, that'll be delivered directly from what we are growing in our greenhouses. Yeah, so pretty much everything from there is going to be delivered. Maybe just the cheese, the bread. The butter, I think I might be delivering directly from the farmhouse production. So there we go. That pretty much is the state of the nation, or the state of the farm, not the state of the nation. So we own this little area over here. This little area over here is where I think I'm going to try and put a juice bar in. We'll have a look and see what it's done. If not there, then we will buy this piece of land here and we'll put the juice bar in this little area here, and we will then grow something, because that comes with this field at the back here. So that's probably our next plan to be implemented today sometime, I would think. Right, so that's the state of the farm. That's where we are in August of this year. If we go to our statistics, so years played, so we're now into our second year, I would think. So all that was really produced, or was already achieved in our first year. So pretty happy with that. Driving distance, fuel usage, fertilizer. Yeah, so all pretty good. All pretty good. Right. So let's hope we have as successful a second year as we go into our second year now, and we'll get things going. I'm going to go and finish off the harvesting, and then we're going to make all our deliveries and replenish everything, and then we'll come back to you with setting up our juice bar. So we'll see you a bit later. Well, actually, we're going to end this episode here, so thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.